Welcome to Special Guest Thursdays on the Final Boss podcast, where legends pull up, the mic gets hot, and the community gets loud. Each week, your host Turbo the CEO goes live with game changers, thought leaders, and culture shifters. From raw interviews to the hottest trending topics, and real talk on community impact. This is where voices rise and stories ignite. So buckle up, press play, and get ready to level up with Turbo. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement.
Welcome to the Final Boss podcast. Special guest Thursdays, right? Woo. I am your host, the one, the only, the Final Boss. Yes, sir. Listen. Boy, what a day. Let me tell you, man. As we get ready to do this back-to-back session, man, we just did episode 194 of Merger, right? Episode 10 of Merger, episode 194. Now we're going into episode number 195 of Special Guest Thursdays, right? Now, bear with me, man. It's been a long day. Look, to each and every last single one of you, thank you for being here, man. Oh man, we had a full house last episode, man, and you know I'm so grateful. I am eager and grateful for what's to come. Right. So, to my smarts, to my final boss, to my warriors, to my smarts, thank you all for being here, man. Look. I give shout outs, man. You get here first. I let people know, man. I let the people know. Hey, Sack, I see you. Sack 1671 is in the building. Okay. Who else we got in the building? We got more people coming in, man. Make yourself known. Jump in the chat and let me know that you're here. Look, if you haven't already, and I'm going to speed up, right? Because I want to get right into it. I'm going to speed right up into this. Look, if you haven't already, go time, all aboard the fired up train. Go time, all aboard the fired up train. Go get it, right? Where all books are sold, right? We got a special that we're going to be running very soon, so stay tuned. We got a special. Go time, all aboard the fired up train. We have a rebirth special that's going to be called the Spring Rebirth, and it's going down in season 4. You're going to want to be a part of that, man. It's going to be heavily discounted, but only for my community, right? For my smarts, to my final boss, to my warriors, and to my motivators committee, right? So, man, this is episode number 195 of the Final Boss, right? Special Guest Thursday. The storm, right, has a name, and it's yours, right? The storm has a name, and it's yours, and we're going to be talking about it in a few minutes. Let me get rid of these banners, all right? Let me get rid of these banners. The banners are gone, and I am here. Man, let me tell you. So, a few admin notes. Look, if you haven't, go check out our website, man. Go check out our website at thefinalbosspodcast.com. We have all our episodes out there. You want to watch all the episodes? Go watch them. They're out there on our website. You want to be a part of the show? We can already start the vetting process starting in season 4, which is around the corner, with individuals who want to be guest hosts on the Final Boss podcast, right? And shoot us an email at info@thefinalbosspodcast.com, info@thefinalbosspodcast.com. Now we got that out the way. Man, we told you about the book. We told you about the website. We told you about what's to come with you being a host in our community, in our network, right? Because the Final Boss community is a growing community, right? And we need you. We want you to be a part of that community, right? And have your own show, have your own voice, right? Using this platform to represent the Final Boss community, right? So, 195 special guest, right? The storm has a name, and it's yours, right? It's yours. So, last week, I told you the quiet was almost over. I told you the storm was loading. Tonight, I'm standing here to tell you the loading screen is gone. The storm doesn't have a name on the Weather Channel. It doesn't have a category number from the meteorologists. They haven't named it. The storm that's building in your life, in your season, right, has one name. And it's the name your mother gave you, right? It's the name your mother gave you. And that storm is coming to change everything, right? It's coming to change everything, right? And that storm is you. We got 5 episodes left. 5 episodes left is before season 4 is being born, right? The rebirth. And tonight we stop waiting for the storm and we become it. That's what it's about. Season 3 is the pursuit, right? Season 4 is who we become, right? So let's get right into it, man. And we're going to start tonight with the brass tacks of the evening, right? And here it is. The brass tacks. You spent all season surviving the reckoning. You survived the hammer. You survived the quiet. Now it's time to stop surviving and start storming, right? The storm has never, the storm was never coming for you. It was coming from you. It's time to activate. It's time to link in and lock in, right? So, listen. The last episode of Special Guests, right? The last episode. We talked about the quiet. We talked about the reflection, right? Last week was that hammer. Tonight is different. I know you feel it because I feel it, right? That's not anxiety. That's not fear. That's activation energy. And your body knows something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. Something is shifting, right? 5 episodes left in the reckoning. And tonight we stop talking about the storm and we start being it, right? So lock in. Final bosses, warriors, smarts, motivators. I hope you're ready, locked, and loaded because I am the final boss. And this is the Final Boss Podcast, right? Episode 195. And we have 5 episodes left, right? The rebirth is born. You got here exactly at the right time, right? At the right time. Last week's episode was so impactful. Last week, it hit different. I felt it in the responses, in the comments, in the DMs. Y'all felt the hammer. Y'all sat in the quiet. Good, right? Good. Because that was the last time we would sit still. Tonight, we move, right? And shout out to all 350,000 in the community, right? And welcome, and I welcome all you new final bosses. Hey, Big Fish from Australia, I see you. We welcome all 350,000 plus in the community and the new listeners and new watchers, right? Who have just found the show, right? We thank you for being here. And we getting ready to get locked in, man. So we're connecting the 2 episodes with intent. And this is the narrative arc, right? Not just a show, right? Because you got to break it down into pieces, right? For clear understanding. Episode 9, the last episode of special guest Thursdays was the diagnosis. And here's what the reckoning cost you, right? Here's what it taught you. Here's where you are. And episode 195 is the prescription. Here's what you do with everything the reckoning deposited in you. The bridge between surviving and thriving is not time, it's a decision. Most people sit in the quiet so long they mistake it for a permanent address. The quiet was a season. This is a new season, and it has a different weather pattern, because you can't carry last week's episode energy into this week's episode energy, right? Or any part of your life, right? The reflection is done. The activation starts now, right? The storm you've been waiting for, that breakthrough, that shift, that next level, it does not have a face yet because you haven't looked in the mirror and claimed it. Tonight, we changed that, right? We changed that. So, this is the intellectual core of the episode, right? This is the intellectual core of the episode. In meteorology, storms get named to distinguish them, track them, and prepare for their impact. A named storm is a storm that is real enough to matter. Most people aren't waiting for a named storm to come into their life. A named opportunity, a named mentor, a named moment of clarity. When the storm that changes everything is already inside them, unnamed. The reason your breakthrough hasn't arrived is not because it's late. It's because you haven't given it a name yet, right? Naming something is an act of authority and ownership. When you name your storm, you are declaring this force belongs to me, right? It operates under my command, and nothing can stop where it's going. Three things that happen, right? Three things that happen when you name your storm. Number one, you stop fearing it. You can't be afraid of something you own. Number two, you start directing it. Named storms have a path. Unnamed storms just rage randomly. And number three, others can track it, right? When your storm has a name, the world knows to get ready, right? So, what's your storm's name, right? What's your storm's name? Is it your business, your health transformation, your degree, your book, your ministry? Name it tonight. Name it out loud. Name it in the chat right now. Drop it in the chat, right? Drop it in the chat. Now, this is the reckoning, and this is the last and final lesson, right? Last final lesson. Because what season 3 was actually training you for season 4, right? Season 3 was not a punishment season. It was a qualification season, right? Every military branch has a qualification course you must complete before you can be trusted with a higher level of responsibility. The reckoning was yours. The weight, the losses, the confusion, the transitions, all of it was qualification training for the level you're about to operate on in season 4, right? You cannot be trusted with season 4 gifts if you haven't been tested by season 3 fire, right? And those qualifications, there's 3 of them, right? And they're issued to every final boss that's still standing, right? And qualification number 1. This is the endurance certification. This is where you've proved you don't quit when it gets hard. That's not guaranteed when most people quit, right? You didn't. And here's qualification number 2, discernment upgrade. You know who belongs in your section 4. The reckoning showed you clearly who was built for the journey, and who was only there for the comfort. And then qualification number three, this is your identity solidification, right? After everything season three threw at you, you still know who you are. That is the rarest qualification of all. You are qualified for what season four is about to bring. The reckoning didn't disqualify you, it certified you, right? Now, my storm, right? My storm. It's called the final boss storm, of course. With 23 years of federal service, the easiest thing would have been for me to name it the final boss storm, right? Right? Listen, a storm was building inside of me, right? A storm was building inside of me. And that storm had a purpose, right? It had legacy. And legacy cannot be built inside a system designed to sustain itself, not develop and not to develop the individual. I had to name that storm, right? And naming the storm meant admitting that comfort was the enemy of calling, right? I say all the time, comfort is the enemy of growth, right? My daughter doesn't need a father who was comfortable. She needs a father who was courageous, right? And I'm speaking to everybody right now in the chat, right? I'm speaking to everyone, right? Right now. Name your storm. Listen, I know what it feels like to have something massive building inside of you that your current environment cannot hold. I know what it feels like to have a storm that's bigger than your job title, bigger than your current circumstances, bigger than what the people around you can understand. Name it anyway. Name it before it makes sense. Name it now and then become it, right? Become it. Now, look, I'm not moving on. Hey Tegan, what's going on? How you doing? I'm not moving on until we do this together, right? I've named my storm. And right now in the chat, I want you to name your storm. Not your goal, right? Not your resolution, but your storm. The force inside you that once released changes the trajectory of everything around it. Name it in the chat, right? 2 words or less. Drop it right now, right? Drop it right now. I'm gonna drink. I see a couple. Valhalla's torch was cool. I like that. I like that. Okay. All right. uh, okay. That I like that one too. All right. It's a couple coming in, man. Oh, snap. Um, I apologize for that. There we go. But listen, now that you've named the storm, right? Affirm my my favorite soup. Hmm, that's a great question. Hmm, my favorite soup. Probably cheese broccoli. I don't, man, I haven't had soup in forever. But I might have some soup tomorrow. But yeah, I think that's it. You know, you have to understand and see the patterns as they emerge, right? You have to see these storms as they emerge. They come in patterns. They're financial storms, they're health storms, they're relationship storms, they're career storms, they're creative storms, right? You have to recognize the storms, and acknowledging them helps you deal with them better, right? Listen, there's 350 plus thousand of final bossers, right? In the final boss community. That is not a podcast chat. That is a weather system, and it's building a massive storm, right? We going F5, right? That's what we're doing, F5. So let's begin to bridge what we were talking about earlier. Bridge the gap from the reckoning to the rebirth, right? Because a rebirth is not a reboot. A reboot returns to default settings. A rebirth creates something that has never existed before, right? Season 4 is not season 1 with better equipment. It is a fundamentally new organism that grew from the wreckage of the reckoning. What does the rebirth require from every final boss entering it? Listen, that's the question you should be asking yourself. That is the question. Hey, Levy Cassiano, I see you back. Thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, right? Thank you for coming back. The way you spoke about yourself in season 3 cannot follow you into season 4. Rebirth requires a new vocabulary. Stop using the language of limitation, right? And then in reckoning, the reckoning revealed who belongs in your story going forward. Season 4 requires intentional relationship architecture, not whoever's available, but whoever is in alignment. You need to have people who are in alignment with you. Get rid of the naysayers. Get rid of the people who are constantly uh, um, being dissenters, right? Every time you say something, they speak negatively towards you, but they call you their friend, right? Get rid of those people. Those people have to go. They can't come into season 4. You can't bring that level of energy into season 4, right? And then the next requirement, right? The rebirth would ask you to do things that would have terrified you in the last season, in season 3, right? The answer has to be yes before you see the full picture. Say yes, no matter what. If it's coming, then it's a blessing. If it's coming, that means that there's a new pathway being opened for you. That means that the pathway that you've been traveling, there's a roadblock at the end of it, and a new path has been generated that is giving you clarity and precision, right? Follow it. Say yes, right? Listen, 5 episodes left, one mission. And this is the architecture of the final stretch of the last 5 episodes, right? Right now, right now, we're in episode 195. This is the activation. You name the storm, now you become it, right? My storm was called the final boss, and I'm becoming the final boss. And last season, I pursued the final boss. Now in season 4, I'm becoming the final boss, right? And that's how you should address your storm. Name your storm something that you've been pursuing. And then in season 4, you become it, right? And then the next episode of Special Guests, Thursdays, we're going to be talking about acceleration, right? This is where the storm picks up speed. And we talked about what happens when momentum becomes unstoppable. And then episode 197 is the warfare. The deeper we go into the final stretch, the more resistant shows up. We prepare for the opposition that comes with the elevation. And then episode 198. This is the convergence. This is everything season 3 built, revealed, and refined that comes together in one conversation. And then episode 199, the Eve, right? The last episode before history, before the final breath, before the final moment, right? And then episode 200, the momentum. Season 3 closes. Season 4 is born. History is made. That is not a content calendar, my friends. That is a battle plan, and I'm executing it every single day, right? Every single one of those episodes at the highest level I have ever operated in, right? The question is, will you be there for all 5, right? You need to be. I'm telling you, you need to be. Right? Now, there are going to be activations for the final 5 episodes of your season, right? And activation 1 is declare your season. Declare season 4 out loud. You know how most people declare um with New Year's resolution, oh, this is 2026 is going to be my year. No, that's the wrong energy. That's the wrong methodology. That's the wrong interpretation. You have to declare out loud into your season, not in a journal, not in your head, but out loud, right? Say season 4 is going to be my season, right? Say it to someone else, right? Spoken declarations create accountability that thought declarations cannot produce. Tell someone what season 4 looks like before it arrives, right? And then here's the second activation. Burn the retreat option, right? Identify the exit you've been quietly keeping available in case season 4 gets hard. Listen, it's not going to get hard, but if it does, be prepared, right? And close it. Burn the bridge back to comfort, right? Comfort is the enemy of growth. Commitment without a retreat option creates a different quality of execution, right? And then you have to audit. Start auditing your inputs, right? What you're consuming in this 5 episode window would determine what you produce in season 4. Audit your media, your conversations, your what you're reading, your associations. Every input is either storm fuel or storm drag. And let me tell you, go time, all aboard the fired up train. This is storm fuel. This is my motivation workbook. This is my motivation textbook written by yours truly, where all books are sold. Go time, all aboard the fired up train. 331 pages of motivation discipline, right? Motivation discipline right here, man. I'm telling you, this would change your life, right? Change your audits, right? Now, Go Time is a series. It's a series, right? That's the one of many, more to come, right? And then activation number 4, you build one thing daily, right? Not a list, not a vision board, right? One concrete, tangible thing every single day between now and episode 200 that does not exist today, brick by brick, storm by storm. And then there's activation number 5, right? This is when you show up. And this isn't marketing. This isn't about marketing. This is a sincere directive. The next 5 episodes are specifically designed to carry you across the threshold from the reckoning into the rebirth, right? You miss one and you miss a piece of the architecture, right? And then there's a little piece that I want to give you guys that I don't think I do enough, right? Coming to as a veteran, right? With 17 years of service, right? With um 3 combat war deployments, right? Let me tell you what combat transition taught me about season transitions, right? When transitioning out of combat theater, the biggest danger isn't the enemy. It's the soldier who forgets they're still in a war zone because the environment got quieter, right? Season transitions in life carry the same danger. The reckoning gets quiet. Season 4 hasn't fully arrived yet, and people drop their guard in the gap. In Afghanistan and Iraq, the most dangerous moment was not the firefight. It was the lull between engagements when attention drifted, when soldiers got comfortable, right? The space between season 3 and season 4 is a lull between engagements, and your purpose and your discipline and your standards must remain on full alert. Keep your head on a swivel. 12, 6, 3, and 9, right? Keep your head on the swivel. Watch your 6, watch your 12, watch your 3, and your 9, right? Do not make the mistake about the calm between your seasons for safety. Stay locked in, my friends. Stay ready, right? The rebirth is not a retreat, it is a redeployment into your higher theater of operation. And to my smarts, to my warriors, to my final bosses, to my motivators, right? Season 4 is what we are calling for vision clarity, right? And what does a rebirth actually look like, right? Let's paint a picture of season 4. Let's paint a picture, right? And I'm not giving away any specifics, right? I want you guys to feel this, right? Season 4 is not louder than season 3. Season 3 was hella loud, right? Season 4 is deeper, right? The conversations get more sophisticated because the audience has been elevated through the reckoning. Now, for my new guests, right? The network that season 3 opens, it's season 3 built, opens doors that season 4 walks through, right? Pursuit and become. The Merger Wednesdays doctoral level content continues to evolve. The brand that I am entering in the building reshapes the intellectual dimension of the entire podcast. Go Time 2 drops in season 4. The book and the podcast feed each other in a way community hasn't seen yet, right? My company, Sat Diginet, runs parallel, right? The business empire and the media empire grows simultaneously, right? Season 4 is not a fresh start, it is a funded start. Everything season 3 paid for with your pain, blood, and tears, right? Or I should say, with our pain, blood, and tears, right? With your persistence, with you showing up when you didn't feel like it, or us showing up when we didn't feel like it, right? And season 4 is where you collect on that investment, right? Now, right? Let's talk about the 5 episodes. The 5 episodes is a privilege, not a guarantee, right? So, right? Think about this. There are podcasters who never made it past episode 5. Go look at the statistics, right? Let alone episode 195. There are warriors in the community who didn't make it to see this episode, right? The road to 200 is a privilege earned by consistency, by the community's faithfulness, and by something bigger than strategy, right? Some weeks I didn't feel like doing this. And let me tell you, as of today, this is the third time I tried to do this episode in totality. Both times, both times, there were sound issues. My soundboard went out. There was a shortage. I had to I had to engineer some stuff, right? I almost felt like giving up, but I said, I can't. I can't give up, right? The energy wants you to give up, right? And we're so close to the end. I'm expecting that the trials and tribulations to increase, right? The energy doesn't want you to get to the next level. It doesn't want you to get to the next season, right? Think about it. Think about what it takes for you to show up every week, right? Regardless of what's happening to you personally, right? Think about that, right? Some weeks, you guys who are new here, some weeks, right? The weight of me finishing my MBA, right? The weight of my business, the weight of my daughter, right? And some weeks it felt like too much, right? And then to have to also be final boss, right? But I showed up anyway, not because I'm superhuman, but because the community deserves me to show up. Like we deserve for us to show up, right? Because we're in this together. We're on this journey together, right? Whether it's convenient or not, that's what warriors do, right? That's what warriors do. And let me tell you this, right? This is your assignment before next week's episode of Special Guests, right? If you haven't already, name your storm this week. Name it. If you didn't drop it in the chat tonight, write it down before you sleep. 2 words, right? Your storm's name. Put it somewhere you see it every morning and then become it, right? Because season 4 is about becoming, right? And your second assignment, right? Go out and share this episode, right? We just hit 195, right? Episode 195. That carries an activation message that someone in your network needs to hear right now. Don't hold it. Don't gatekeep. Send it out. Tag them. Forward it. Let the storm spread, right? And then number 3, if you haven't already, subscribe. Subscribe before we get to 200. If you're not subscribed on every platform available, do it tonight. Season 4 launches differently than season 3. You don't want to miss the entry point, right? And then the 4th assignment, engage with the community. Drop your storm name, drop your season 4 declaration, right? Or your biggest takeaway from tonight in the comments, right? Across every platform. The algorithm rewards engagement, and so does your own accountability, right? If you haven't, go pick up Go Time, right? For those who are new, go pick up Go Time, right? Go Time 2 is on the way. Go Time 2 is on the way, right? The community needs to be ready. And you can't read Go Time 2 without reading Go Time 1. And you can't read any book in the series if you're not reading them in sequential order, right? I graduate with my master's in May, and then I'm on to my doctorates in July, right? Now, listen, we're almost done, right? We're almost done. Activation is complete. If you haven't named your storm, I'm sure you will, right? But don't be nameless on the next episode, right? Don't have that energy wandering around your life without giving it direction. You have to address that now. It has to have a destination. And if you are looking to be successful, you're moving into the direction of success, right? And you want to be on the fired up train, right? The fired up train is moving, right? Destination, success, destination, who you were meant to be, right? 5 episodes stand between this moment, right? 5. The rebirth begins. Listen, I'm not wasting any of that time at all, right? And neither should you. And to every fighter boss, every warrior, every smarts, every motivator who showed up tonight. You didn't just listen to a podcast, you picked up your assignment. Now let's go execute, right? Let's go execute. And for all of those out there, right? All of you out there, this is the Final Boss Podcast. This is the Final Boss Podcast, man. And if you don't know about the Final Boss Podcast, then you need to find out. Go tell your friends that you watched an amazing podcast. Go tell your family about the podcast. Go tell every damn body about the podcast, right? There are too many different things out there that are distractions. Let's gain alignment away from those distractions. Let's gain alignment and purpose with intent, right? Let's be purposeful in what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish, right? Let's go for success in this next season. Let's move towards a let's move towards a deliberate intent, right? And in that deliberate intent, I tell you, wait, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold on, hold on, don't go nowhere. Hold on, hold on. Mm. You thought I was about to let you go. I can see the look on your faces right now. And I looked and saw you. And I said, man, they think I'm letting them go. They think I'm letting them. No, man. I owe you more than that, right? Every episode is an hour long, right? And here's what you need to know right now, right? This is what you need to know. This is not what I want to say. This isn't um typical, right? Normally on Special Guest Thursday, hence the name, I have a special guest, right? But for the rest of the season, I said I'm gonna do something different, right? I said I'm gonna do something different, and I wanted to do something different where you guys can see a different side of special guests, right? The first week, because this is the third week I've done this, we talked about me in depth, right? And we talked about me from my trials and tribulations. Then last week was about you, all the final bosses and the warriors and motivators and my smarts. We talked about you. And this week, we're talking about us, right? As we transition from season 3 to season 4, right? We're sharpening the blade for what's left, right? And this quiet before the storm isn't a goodbye. It's a gear check before the final push, right? Before the final push. It's a countdown to a momentum. Episode 200 and podcasting is a milestone that most people who start never finish. The hammer of sorrow wasn't the finale, it was the fuel injection for the next 6, right? We don't quit, right? Not 6-5. I apologize. We don't quit with 5 left on the clock. A final boss plays until the last second hits 0. We have more work to do, right? We have more work to do. Episode 195 is the recalibration, right? Recalibration. We're setting the tone for the final stretch, right? The momentum builder is coming in hot. The midpoint of the final stretch, and this one needs to hit like a freight train, like the fired up train, right? the deep dive. We're going somewhere and the community hasn't gone yet, right? Because it's in the future, right? And then we have the finale, the pre-finale, right? And that's going to be the conversation that sets up everything, right? For episode 199. The last episode before history, the calm before the storm, the momentum, the monument, the capstone of everything we built. Because every single one of those last episodes has a job. And tonight I'm telling you, I am approaching each one of them with military operation, objectives, strategy, execution, no wasted reps, right? No wasted reps, right? I'm telling you, as I always said, right? There's a specific kind of clarity you get when there's no guest to defer to. There's no interview to drive the conversation. There's no other voice to balance, right? When I'm going solo like I am tonight, I'm forced to be fully accountable to your own content, right? No hiding about behind Q&A, right? Solo, right? Was supposed to be tonight. That's not a gap. It's a statement. Some of the most important conversations in history were monologues, not debates, right? Not debates. Dr. King's I Have a Dream wasn't a panel discussion, it was one voice with conviction. And tonight I didn't need a guest to make this episode powerful. And neither did you, right? Neither did you. And neither do you need external validation to make your next move powerful. So make it. You have enough inside of you right now to take the next step. The only guess you need is your own courage. Right? What would you say if you had the mic all to yourself right now? Right? Drop it in the chat. What would you say? Right? What's the thing you've been holding back? Right? Drop it in the chat. And listen, this segment is built around the military concept of the space between deployments and applying it to life transitions. In the military, the time between deployments is called the dwell period. It is not rest, it is refit, retrain, and rearm. Most people treat the space between seasons of their life like a vacuum, right? Like a vacation, when it's actually supposed to be like a training camp. The mistake people make in their quiet before the storm is wasting it on comfort instead of construction. What are you doing right now between the season? Are you learning something new? Are you strengthening weak areas? Are you building relationships that will matter in the next chapter? Are you healing what got damaged so you don't carry wounds into the next season? Right? Listen, my dwell period is not a break. It is a build period, and yours should be too, right? And listen, I need everybody listening to understand what the next episodes represent, right? This is not content. This is not programming. This is a legacy sprint. Every episode, right? Every single one. My daughter will be able to point to one day and say, my dad did that, right? The veterans, the entrepreneurs, and warriors who felt like they had no voice will be able to listen to and say, somebody said what I couldn't say. That's what these last episodes are, right? I challenge you, man. I challenge each and every last one of you, right? What's the sprint you need to run before your next season starts? Identify it. You got to your first challenge is to come up with the name of your storm. The second one is the sprint, right? Identify it, name it, commit to it, do it, right? And then here are some final declarations, right? Every remaining episode will be prepared at the highest level, right? Episode 200 will be the most significant episode in the Final Boss podcast history. Season 4, when it launches, will have more, and more depth, more guests, more impact, more elevation, right? Now, let that marinate with you, man. Let that marinate with you. And I thank you for being here. All 350,000 of you across all platforms. You have made this a joy, right? We're on 5 days a week. If you didn't know, for the newcomers, 5 days a week we're on at 9 p.m. live, right? You and I are on this journey together, this community. This is the core. You could be anywhere else right now. You chose to be here. That would never be lost on me, right? That would never be lost on me. So, in closing, and I'm really signing off this time. In closing, right? Episode 194 was the journey. Episode number 185 was also part of that journey. And it's officially in the books, right? The hammer of sorrow did its job tonight. We felt it. We named it. We understood it. And now we sit it down, or we sit it down, right? We set it down. Not because we're done, but because the next swing has to be precise. The quiet before the storm is almost over. 5 episodes between episode 200, and every single one of them is going to count. I need you locked in. I need you sharing. I need you bringing your people into this community before we hit that number, right? To every final boss, to every warrior, to every smart, every motivator who rode out tonight with me, you didn't just listen to a podcast, you participated in something being built. And what we're building together doesn't have a ceiling, right? I am the final boss. The road to 200 is active. I will see you next week. As a matter of fact, I'll see you on Sunday for Sitting Down Sundays with the final boss, right? Go be great, my friends. And if this resonates with you, let it marinate in your spine, right? And if it does so, share it with 3 individuals. Don't gatekeep, right? And know this, there's a discipline that comes, there's a pain, I should say. There's a pain that comes with discipline, but the pain of regret is even heavier, right? This is the Final Boss Podcast. We are here. I am here. Be good. No, what I want to say. Nope. I don't want to say that. I want to say, let me close out with the greeting. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Be balanced, be equal, and most importantly, be safe. That is our show for tonight, man. Thank you guys for joining us. See you again on Sunday for Sitting Down Sunday with the Final Boss as we close out with season 3 very soon with 5 episodes to go. I'm so grateful. See you then. Between now, don't miss an episode, right? Because then when you come back to the next episode, that after you miss one, you're gonna like, what is he talking about? I'm telling you, need to stay in line and be in alignment, right? As the energy flows with it. Be like water, right? And sway with the grass. Keep your head down. If you poke your head up, that's when a sniper gets you. Sway with the grass, move with the ocean, flow like water. Talk to you soon.
Three seasons in, and we're just getting started. You've heard the whispers. You've felt the shift. Now it's time to face the boss. Welcome to season 3 of the Final Boss Podcast, where every episode is a power move, every guest is a game changer, and every Tuesday, a tech takeover, and every Monday is motivational with special guest Thursdays, and sitting down with the final boss Sundays. Hosted by Turbo the CEO, the architect of insight, the voice of the underground, and your guide through the glitch. Plug in, lock on. This is the Final Boss Podcast. Season 3 starts now.